Good afternoon, calling to order the Needham Branding and Town Seal Committee for June 11, 2024. We're all here missing Amber, right?
You have an announcement to make?
Yes. We're only going to be talking today about the logo, the branding, not the seal. So
Okay, I will tell her.
all right, so not much. Anything else? That was it.
Nope, only that we have a consultant on board to
Yes.
do the branding.
Thank
And
you.
we have to do a separate thing for the seal for municipal procurement, so
Right, sorry,
we
agenda.
may need to skip the next meeting and
Okay,
have schedule one for July. So
okay,
that was
okay. So want to talk about the logo? Sure.
Yeah, so I'm gonna
Give me
share
a
my
second.
screen, yeah.
Louise and Teddy.
All right.
All right,
Okay, the first one. So
He's not.
basically, I think we were just trying to wrangle what colors we wanted to use, and we wanted to do two choices to the public, and I believe that it's sort of, we're gonna do it, not so much a vote, but a poll, kind of get everybody's sense of what it is, and I think the two choices we come up with, both will work fine. You know, so it's not like, well, let's lean on, make sure they don't pick this one or something, so.
And how is it distributed? How do they see it and decide, submit their?
Amy?
hold on, I'm getting Teams messages popping up, hold on a second, sorry about that. We will do a poll, we could do it, we can set it up through like Survey Monkey and put links through social media, the town social media pages, and I can have, you know, them go on to the other town departments' social media pages. We can advertise it through the newsletter, we can put it through the website, notify me. I will reach out to the Needham Observer, the, you know, other.
Chamber.
Yes, the chamber, and ask them to push it out as
How about
well.
the COA newsletter too?
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure.
Now, what kind of, have you done this before? Like polls?
Yeah.
And what sort of response do you get? Like, what's a good?
It depends on the topic. When
Yeah.
we did a survey, not a poll, but we did a survey for parking, we got quite a bit of response. People seem to have very strong opinions about parking, as it turns out. We did an arts and cultural plan survey. We got quite a bit of response to that. We had the Needham community survey, which we got, you know, great response to. So I'm optimistic that we'll get a lot of.
Okay, yeah, I just wondered what the mechanisms were for that.
And is it, I know some polls, you vote and it'll give you the results right away, like where it is it that, or is it sort of a secret?
We'll have to,
Tabulation?
do we want people to know after they poll saying, you know, this one's ahead by, you know, 56% as opposed to this, because will that impact people? Or have it closed until,
Closed.
yeah.
Yeah, if you have multiple sources, streams coming in, that would be hard.
I think it's just, it's
Well,
all linked to the
Oh,
same.
oh,
Yes, it's all gonna be
Yeah,
in one
yeah,
place.
I think it's better not to, because.
You don't want to influence maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
I'm
want
gonna,
the winning one.
I will double check, but you can also set it up so that it only allows one entry per IP address. So it's not as though somebody could be sitting at home and doing it multiple times.
What if
Not
two-
that,
Yeah,
but
that's right.
what if two people share a computer?
I'll double check that, or maybe it's one email address, but I'll research all that.
One email address.
Is that for like a week or something?
Well, then I get to vote 4 times.
Oh,
I'm not worried. If people take the time to vote, then they care a lot. They vote 4 times.
Well, it's a poll anyway, right? It's not a vote, so it doesn't really.
Now,
maybe I'll do 2 and 2.
is there gonna be something accompanying with it? Like, should I, you know, versus just like the pure logo, like, here's this color and here's that color. Vote on our new town logo, or, you know, are people gonna be like, where did this come from? What's, you know, do they ask,
Morris Clemens.
is it gonna
Maybe
cause
a
a
quick
fuss?
paragraph?
Yeah,
Because of that.
giving some background,
Yeah.
He's a great guy.
The committee,
Give a little context.
yeah,
maybe, like,
And also-
have you explain the features?
Yeah, or even explain how we're using it.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
like
so you
we're
wanna make
using.
clear it's
that's a
not the
good
town
idea.
seal.
Right,
Oh,
oh
yeah,
my
right,
God,
right,
yeah,
right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Actually, people will be begging for that probably. What do you mean, we're still what?
So I'll draft something that's being no longer than a paragraph, that'll give some context and in history to the fact that this committee has been comprised and been working on this, and that we went through iterations of various designs, and here's what we came up with.
And
So,
this is one of two pieces that were,
Yeah.
of two
Right,
things,
yeah,
two pieces that were.
People miss that.
And then the seal we're just doing then.
The seal we're not pulling, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that would eventually go to town meeting, so it has a different.
Yep.
Just for people who came in late, we're doing the town seal at the next meeting.
Just
Which might
I'll
not
know.
be 2 weeks from now.
Correct, right. I think if we finish this today, then.
Yeah.
The seal.
Well, I mean, one thing we could talk about after this also is, or maybe, I don't know if we all need to talk about this sort of, we've never really divided. What do we want to, what does the seal have to go on yet? And then what's the logo gonna go on? Cause that was, you know, like right now, everything's got the seal on it. So it's sort of like, which ones?
We pretty much said, and I think the board's vote was official use.
Yeah.
Very tight, but I mean, that doesn't mean, I don't think we've completely figured it out yet.
Oh, okay, well, no, I just didn't know if, how
You know,
much,
like-
how much the committee would talk about it versus like you said, okay, on a marriage certificate or birth certificate, we're gonna use
Does
the
he?
seal.
Yeah.
type of
I,
thing.
I think that, there is a law somewhere, and I don't know exactly where it is, that says the town seal is to be used for town business.
Okay.
And I've always enforced that in the town. clerk's
Right,
office.
I mean, we stretched it to like business cards and street name signs,
Oh,
which I
yeah,
think.
And
we
trash
don't-
barrels.
And trash barrels, and
Yeah.
you know what we don't want it on? Be maybe when we get to the very end, they're like, here's three things, we just let Louise decide, I guess. As the keeper.
Right,
Yeah.
You keep it this.
that sounds
Which
like a
one?
Yes,
medieval
that's
kind
correct,
of role.
Louise. You're the keeper.
Essentially, yes.
Yeah,
Do we have some like
Yeah.
old fashioned lockbox that's in, you know, that'd be the keeper of.
Great seal of the town meeting.
Well, actually, nobody else can seal anything with it.
You're the sealer. All right, so just to sort of go over what we had talked about last time. So this is the quote light blue version. Go ahead. That's sort of the silvery blue. I think that was, I just included because I wasn't exactly sure. Next. Then we have yellow. Next. Gold. And then that was the next one there. It was Topher asking for sort of purple and
I
green.
did not.
What?
Somebody else did.
Kevin,
That was Kevin.
Kevin.
I just.
Oh, okay, okay.
I just want to put that on the record. I did not.
Topher, not a fan.
I just need
I
that
would like to
blue.
keep my job.
looks like.
Yeah, well, it's funny, it's a little, I think it's just sort of how it's on the screen.
Yeah.
Oh, that is a sort of,
Yeah,
yeah, I don't like
Yeah.
that.
Swing and a miss.
yeah.
Right, you never know.
Okay, get the next one. All right, so this is where we've got, well, there's two parts of this, so this is, one to figure out which color. Go ahead, Amy, next one. And assuming that we were all sort of liking some sort of yellow gold, then I sort of went into the, all right, it could be orangey or, you know, splitting hairs a little bit. But go back to the previous one. So I'm assuming a gold yellow is one, and as far as the blues, do you like the more
The light
saturated
blue
blue
and
or the, yeah, they're silvery?
Yeah, I like the light.
so I personally like the gold and the silver, but I was convinced by what you were saying is that they would be kind of washed out on a lot of things. So I think you're probably right, the more color is better.
Yeah,
So the
yeah.
only thing is the light blue still looks very nautical as opposed to the silver.
that's where I was just trying to, because I didn't want it, if it was like pure, like a lot of times people look at silver as like gray. And I didn't necessarily just want it like pure black gray, like a percentage, so there, it's got some blue in there, and that's, I sort of liked it, it's a little,
Looks like it has a touch of red too.
I like it.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say the
could
same
be.
thing. Yeah.
I mean, it's a matter of like you like it a little bit muted, and I like that. I lean towards the blue silver one, because I think it will, looks a little more official, not to say the others look a little cartoony, but when you have you amp the colors up, it's pretty up.
Well, I'm there, but I guess it's a democracy.
The only thing is about the washed out, like, how long, if it went to yellow, how long would that yellow last on a garbage can? Or how long would it,
Usually,
on
It's
a-
defined by the process a lot of times,
Right.
I mean, like certainly if it's sitting in the sun baking all the time, there's a lot of stuff that'll
Right.
turn, but then there's some colors that like, hey, it's been out here forever, and
Right.
hasn't turned at all. I don't think it's usually the process, it's sort of like, well, hey, let's not use this certain gold because it's gonna end up looking brown in
Right.
2 years, or something like the whole thing would.
That's right.
fade.
That's the only thing I worry about, the gold, as it's already on the brown scale, but.
Yeah.
And it might just be that I'm in the thick of high school that.
Well, I mean, to your point, you could maybe look at the light blue one and say, hey, if that fades in the sun, maybe it'll turn into the other one.
Right.
But I would also think that the navy would also sort of
mhm.
move that same direction. Here, they're both 100%
Mhm.
type of thing.
Okay, Kevin, where are you?
I think I like the light blue and I like the yellow. I think the yellow eventually with fading yellow eventually in the sun deteriorates to get greens in it sometimes. I think the light blue just has more pop to it. I mean, visually, it's a stronger instant. I mean, the blue and silver is tasteful, but it doesn't pop as much.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of was the two decisions I was making, like one to pop more and
I like taste.
be bold, but it's also, it's a bold logo, so it can hold it. If it was a more dainty or something going on, then I'd say like, well, maybe we should keep it down.
Topher?
I like light blue and yellow.
Okay, I'm at silver and yellow. Gloria?
Light blue and yellow.
Oh dear.
So I could go for
Okay.
I'm not really, definitely yellow over gold, but blue and silver, kind of.
Okay. Got it. All right,
Light blue light blue and yellow.
okay. Cynthia?
Light blue and yellow, but the silk, I would be okay with, the silk, but not the gold.
We think alike.
Louise?
I prefer the silver and yellow over gold, although I'm not sure I like that shade of yellow.
There's more to come on
I
that.
know.
I do that.
Debbie?
I guess the light blue and the yellow, but I would like to see something, the police and fire have a little more color in what they're using now, right?
Yeah, but in the future, they probably will have this.
And we were also talking about there
In
being
a
a dropout, right?
Yes.
Right.
And
Right.
the police and fire could end up being, they will end up being blue and red.
Yeah. Well,
versions of
there's ways to, the presentation, I took the fire patch, and when I was researching online patches and things like that, it is kind of funny because they come in all kinds of shapes and sizes, and you could keep, like, the traditional fire has, I don't know,
Like a ladder and a hydrant.
yeah, and then the middle it was saying Needham. Well, I could actually I can insert the cupola in there, maybe not the word Needham, but Needham could still go around it. And then you could pick another style patch where it's an oval that does something else, or a square, so they have all kinds of different shapes and sizes. The police one was,
It's like,
Yeah, baseball diamond.
yeah,
sort, I think Needham up here, police down there, something like this. So that's like an odd shape there, but even if it kept something like that on the, that could be one patch, or the fire could have the traditional fire on one and then our town patch on the other, or, there's, because I know they have multiple things, and I wasn't sure with like an actual police badge, that gets forged and all that kind, like
Yeah.
what's that look like? But a lot of times it's just picking a new style of design. So a lot of times, I think when we start implementing, there'll be certain things where you come and say, okay, Dave, we have to use this shape. And other ones like, hey, we get to redesign it. So, I can keep as many things as possible consistent. So that's sort of my goal. And again, depending the blue one, that would look good on like a police uniform. But if it's like, I always assume like a dark, super dark blue, patch or something like that. So we can.
Is it fair, since Amy and JP have come to all the meetings, they get to give their?
Yes.
So I like the yellow and the blue,
Thank you.
and I would say between the light blue and the silver,
Let's not vote.
it's a wash for me. I don't have an opinion on either of them. Like, I think they're both, in terms of a more sedated one, they work well. I guess the question is gonna be, is the sun behind it or the circle going to end up becoming something that may change at various times, like for, Pride Month, would there become a rainbow? Would it become, for, Juneteenth, would you do it with, red and black and yellow? And, can there be a little bit more elements like that as it, evolves,
Now
where the core always stays the same?
Yep.
But the color that surrounds it.
Yeah.
Could.
There'd be a standard and then like on occasion a deviation.
It's,
fascinating.
I saw that, I was looking at different branding guidelines that towns have done and stuff, just to sort of say, hey, what's typical, and I wanna do a good one. And one or two of them had that where I was like, all right, they were kind of getting a little almost crazy with stuff. It was more complicated logo. I didn't think it worked well, but I did like that they had that initiative because they did have a rainbow and they did have, for certain things, like, could have been, red, white, and blue for the 4th of July, or also, trying to think of another one that they had, like St. Patrick's, it was some odd mix of holidays in there, but I'm like, okay, that could work in certain circumstances, though. Again, what's nice about this logo, it can handle a lot of that. And as far as the color goes, I almost feel like as long as the two colors don't clash, I think anything works.
And we talked about maybe putting just the logo on a truck and not the circle at all, so it wouldn't even have the yellow.
Right. And one thing I experimented a little bit was if I did have it reversed out the blue, I didn't show that because right now it's just white. And I thought, well, what if I put the word Needham or the 1711 in the color, and I'm like, okay, now it's gonna start to be problematic. People are gonna, hey, I'll make the Needham this color and that color, and I thought, all right, just kind of get this is the base color. And if everything's sort of coming out of town hall anyway, I don't think people are gonna be out bastardizing it to their own,
Not if we have the style guide.
Right.
Maybe.
How about when
I'm
you put it
gonna-
in the sweatshirt?
Throw this poll off, but I go with the light blue and the gold, actually. I do like the gold.
Contrary.
I think we're outvoted.
Dave, you said chest on the light blue. What color, the blue, the dark, what color is that?
The dark blue,
Just
it's
read.
supposed to be like a navy-ish. I usually try to get my colors, like I'd like the blue to be dark, dark enough so it always works against
Right, like
something lighter. But I don't want it so dark that it looks black.
Right.
Like I want people
Is
to
that
say,
like reflex blue?
it's a little deeper than reflex.
All right. And then there's a blue, light blue derivative of that. I mean, it's in the family.
No,
Or it's
well, no, it's complete, it's like not a screen of it.
Okay.
I mean, that's the other thing other use that we could possibly happen is if we do a screen.
Right.
And that again could be if we're gonna use a screen, maybe we don't use it around it at all. So there'll be times we might use the circle and might not, like I haven't really figured that on everything we've done, but if the blue silver one, hey, that could be a 10% screen of.
A screen is just the same, you get the color, and then you use it 10 or 20%.
Yeah, reduce
So
it.
we're
Like
we
sometimes
say
it-
screens, that technically the old way, that's how it's created.
Yeah.
We walk, talking a percentage.
You got it.
But if you used a different, like, I'm not saying, a royal blue or something like that, would that be a different, less, sort of to Louise's point, less maritime?
Again, it all depends on what monitor we're looking at it on,
Yes,
right?
Yeah, it's a little, I think it, yeah, I mean, I'm okay with it. I don't,
Okay.
it doesn't throw me too bad. I guess to answer the other question on the possibility of using a screen is if there's a one color application, that's usually what happens where, hey, we can only print this in one color, and a lot of times those processes might be, like if you're doing a silk screen or something for like somebody's shirt, that screen's gonna plug up, so you're gonna simply just do two color, or, okay, we're just gonna do the one color version, right, type of thing, so. I mean, that's the nice part, it does have a lot of flexibility built into it. Okay, so let's go to the yellow and see which yellow is yellow.
Oh, my. And
Not to make it.
it's like the eye chart or something.
Now, the first one's the original, that's what was on the prior slide. And I thought, all right, so if I add bring up a little more yellow and add a little bit more red, I like that color a lot on stuff. I call it school bus
Thank you.
yellow.
It does look like.
Very nice.
Just as to explain the numbers at the bottom, 80Y, 20M is yellow, so it's 80% yellow, 20% magenta. There's 4 colors we use,
Out of
cyan,
Uh,
cyan, magenta, yellow.
Yeah.
No, and white.
And
Yeah.
usually the least amount of colors you can use to create a color is also good. Like if you go to the gold, that's got 75 yellow, 25 and 15. Well, if the printer leans a little bit harder on the 15% or something, all of a sudden the logo, so the gold could look a little greenish, or starts shifting around. These pretty much, I mean, I know I'll see this out in the real world where if we give them the actual yellow on the left, we're gonna see renditions
Yeah.
Okay,
out that, like the streets, wow, that's pretty orange for us,
Yeah.
but it's kind of just deciding like, where's our base color? And then the third one, I thought, okay, I'll make that a little more, take a little bit of more red out, and it's a little more yellowy.
Looks like a hard boiled egg.
Yeah, exactly.
Hard boiled, which is, God, now I keep seeing an egg.
Well, actually, now I see it hard boiled, right?
the second one looks a little bit hard boiled.
Yeah.
If it's
If
organic.
you own your own chicken.
That's organic.
It looks like a school bus.
It also looks like this side.
But as far as even darkness goes, I think like when you get to the third one, it just kind of dies.
It's kind
And
Yeah,
nearly
it's-
what gets
it's sort of
washed out.
anemic, yeah.
And this second one is definitely stronger, but then it almost feels like it's overpowering, and it
It's
does
beating
feel
it.
like the
It's
sun or
beating it up.
something.
too orange.
Yeah. So then like the original, I mean, I guess,
Yeah.
I guess the way seeing the designer, you're kind of
You
goes,
like
is
the
like, I
color?
think this one's,
Yeah, I like it better.
kind of where I think it should
Oh,
be,
sorry,
but
I've been
I
here.
also think it's good to just shift a little bit either side to sort of say, all right, here's, what if we did this, what if we did that? I mean, I've got clients, what if you did 22 magenta,
So is this the one on the left here, the one we just saw on the
Yeah,
last
yeah,
screen?
yeah.
Okay.
I like it better when it's faced with these other ones.
We're looking at.
Well, that's why I sort of,
Green wall,
I thought to
right?
pull it out, just so we can see and give it enough color shift that, if I did
Forensic.
If I did 5% each time, you'd be like,
Right, oh my God, right. And you don't know it until you see it.
yeah.
But you have to assume some fade in some of the applications.
Yeah.
Too,
In decision. Right.
but also just in weathering. And they're gonna start tending toward that third one. But if you start with the third one, it start getting very pale.
Right, yeah.
Looks washed out to the image.
Well, we'll have to put up with it on the trash barrels. I think we can manage.
Especially on the northern side.
They're manufacturing all their trash barrels now in,
I saw that.
where, Methuen, is that where it was? Up where that big fire was?
And some folks in Newton are gorilla their trash barrels and putting down stickers over them.
What do the stickers, what do the
Like
stickers
for
say?
their logo. No, just taking the logo like that's similar to ours and just putting something new over it.
Oh, really? I should talk to them.
Anything beyond this?
So it sounds like we say the consensus is the original.
Not kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So go back.
Of this group.
So I think it's the light blue and the yellow winners.
So we go to poll on those?
What's the time frame on the poll?
Kevin, I was wondering if you want to show these tonight, with town manager update, our committee update? To the select board, before they go to the poll, so they see them.
Sure. Yeah.
We're not accepting feedback, but.
Turn off commenting.
They completely missed the next agenda item.
Right, yeah.
That's what we can talk about snapping turtles.
So wait, can we get a sample of like blue and the yellow? Do you want to take those weeks and show them?
Yeah, Amy said she could. do
Yeah, I
it.
can
All right, just-
make them available digitally and also print them out. I know, depending on the printer, what color.
Right. Oh, this is my
And
printer.
a highly
This-
calibrated.
this is-
Right, yeah, yours is,
I used to have a really good one and it crapped out and I said, okay, I'll get the best one at Staples and
you did.
oh man.
Cyan has run out.
Yeah.
No, that's full
It's
everything.
over-magenta.
That's just, oh, it's just sad for me.
So as far as the poll, I don't see any reason why we couldn't launch it. Yeah,
End of the week, or
Yeah.
this week.
Now, as far as cause I can send you those files.
Yeah.
I guess for the poll, I guess maybe recommend just showing one, like don't show the one in the blue field, just show the top ones.
Okay,
I mean, do you think that's
should you show the corresponding, what do you call it, when it doesn't have the circle?
the
reverse.
reverse?
Yeah, I'd show
Or-
reverse too, because that's.
It's the same though, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it's the same.
But that just says
It'll be
application.
white-
Might
it'll be
that
white on
confuse
blue.
Do we have that on this set?
No.
yeah, I can get
Can
that.
you just put it on black or something so
Well, and then,
that they're looking at it against black and not against blue?
The reverse, you mean?
Or whatever the bottom ones are, yeah.
I just want to
The
be
blue will
clear,
affect the way
sorry.
you
You
look
send
at
out
it.
the reverse, people may think it's a third choice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
yeah,
it'd be-
that's why I was almost
I
thinking,
think
just
it'll be
Okay.
not even
confusing.
showing them.
It'd be nice to
like,
show the
just
board though,
one.
if we have it. We should
Sure.
show the board tonight, but
So
yeah.
just to be clear, on the poll, am I showing the ones in the blue box or just the
I
ones on
think
the
just the
top?
one at the top.
So this and this,
So-
not in the blue box.
Why not?
I personally like the blue box because it shows it more as of a bridge, but
Okay,
that's,
Yeah, it does.
but I
look-
do, I kind of feel like it should be shown in a different color than the blue that's chosen for the.
So I think if it's black, then it's one of those, it's so close, it's not.
Or 11% gray or something that doesn't affect the color of that much.
Yeah, or does it matter? I mean, I guess that was the biggest thing. I
Or
kept
just give it
thinking.
an outline.
Yeah.
So the one on the top could be on a red uniform, for instance. I mean, a red sleeve.
wow.
Um,
Yeah, but that's the
think you need
last,
it
that's the
back.
last thing you want to send out.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, right, I know.
Thinking about it. It could be, it could end up with any color background.
I mean, I just don't know if they're.
I would do 4. You know why? Because it gives context. You see that when it's
Like,
placed on something.
like do both?
Yeah.
Yeah, do
Yeah.
that.
Because then
That's
you
option
can
one,
see it, you know, this is a different logo than this.
Yeah.
Like technically. They don't need to see like the other reverse, so, you know, maybe just like this, just to say, hey, look, this is how it works
Here and there.
on the light color, here it is.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay,
So
and then we
option
have a
one,
reverse to show the board tonight, just so they can see. it.
Reverse
Yeah,
for
right.
tonight.
I think there's one on the first page of this, isn't there?
Or
Oh, they like monkeys.
Last time you
Yeah,
did.
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Well, actually, yeah, you could show them that, just
Yeah.
pick those 2 pages.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Make it
that's
better.
right. Not that one, the one before, the real little one, yeah. Just
Uh,
those 2 pages, that's
That's
perfect.
pretty.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, really pretty.
Here's that.
Actually, you could use that for the poll if you wanted to, you know, I don't know.
Actually, that's clear, because otherwise they're gonna think there's a round,
Mhm.
they're not gonna, they're gonna get,
Yeah.
if people can get confused, they will.
This is a good one,
This is
yeah.
clear.
Yeah.
I like the 3rd one at the bottom.
Right, well, that's what they're gonna
Right.
say, that is exactly what they're
Yeah.
gonna say.
Here's an example of the application.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it is, I mean, like,
Option
it's
one,
clearly,
option two,
this is what it would look like.
Okay. So our next meeting is scheduled for the 5th, right?
Yeah, I think we should push it off to June, to July.
Yeah, so the poll would be in the field, as they say, until our next meeting, which would be a July
You
meeting.
know, Amy, do you want to keep it out that long though?
Take away.
I would recommend not having the poll open any more than 2 weeks.
Exactly.
Okay.
And people.
And when in July? Yes,
No,
around.
July 3rd, there's nothing going on.
I'm gonna July
That works.
We're all off work.
4th.
You could do the poll at the fireworks, just kind of wander.
Oh, this is for the
With
next.
a signboard, just.
Make sure that Proud Mary gets a logo with this, so they can start making t-shirts or something.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Right, merchandise.
the 16th, July. I know we're gonna lose people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
highly
but you're-
unlikely, I will be here, my son gets married the 15th.
Oh, I think you're.
Congratulations.
Oh, so this is the 14th on Monday. The 14th is the
Yeah.
rehearsal dinner.
Are you, are you
I, if
Congratulations.
you're doing it at 4 PM, I think I could
Maybe you
probably
could zoom in.
connect at 4 PM.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Are people mostly here? Do we have most people on the 16th? Let's try for that.
July 16th,
Yeah, then we'll have our contract
That's a
squared away
Tuesday.
for the seal and
is that a Tuesday?
Is that a Tuesday?
Tuesday. yes.
And it's
Amy,
gonna
you
be
don't mind
on.
sending that?
Nope.
Thank you.
So I'll cancel the one for the 25th then.
Or just.
Move it, yeah.
4 o'clock,
Reschedule.
right?
Make sure you have the right people on it.
Yeah,
Yeah, same time, 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
yeah.
Same place.
I'll be at the beach.
We'll keep you posted.
Can you zoom in on your phone?
I guess one question is, when we do the July 16th meeting to prepare it, is how controversial you think this is gonna be and whether it needs to wait to May town meeting or whether to go to October, so sort of waiting for everybody's opinions on that when we meet, so.
About the town seal?
Yeah.
We don't know yet, do we?
I don't know, I'd say we should, that's something we need to talk about timing
Yeah.
Oh, at July or now?
in July.
So do we, when do we present the logo to the town?
Well, probably, we'll tell the board tonight, we'll do the poll, I'll probably ask the board in July at their meeting to, July or August to adopt it, so it's just the board's adopting it.
Yep, so, well, I guess they're seeing it tonight, it's sort of like the cat's out of the bag versus like having a big presentation and things like that. Because I'm just kind of like.
Well, it'll be
what-
out of the
what do I-
bag, if we release it Friday, it'll be out of the bag without them having seen it first, so.
Yeah.
I just assume show them what we're,
Yeah,
where we're
Once the
headed.
poll goes out.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, well, what's this?
and after
But we
the
can
poll,
present the
maybe
guide.
we want to pull that and revamp or tweak based on what we hear.
Me,
Yeah.
Maybe.
but you can
Or-
still
or-
have the big reveal of which one we pick.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Well, and like you
balloons,
said,
blue and yellow.
the other thing, I mean, I don't necessarily, I think doing the guide itself is working more with Louise in the town and you, like, what are the needs that need to be in the guide? I mean, I kind of got the key components and things like that. It's just a matter of like, am I using yellow or am I using blue? Like, those are things I can kind of almost start on now.
Yeah.
I think one of the questions people are gonna have is where is this going?
Right.
because we don't have a logo separate right now.
Right, and the general answer is, most places where you see a seal that's not on a document in the town clerk's office is gonna have a logo in this format, right? But it's gonna take us a long time to get there, and we're gonna have to start and get going. I did get a $50,000 earmark in the state budget to start implementing, so.
The logo.
Logo and seal, so whatever that means.
Would it be helpful for the
Oh,
poll
Yeah.
to list some of the things, to say all the places that are not the official
for
use of the town?
example.
For example,
Mhm.
you know, Pat, I think that will help people
Yeah.
in thinking
Clothing.
about
Yeah.
Trash barrels.
T-shirts, whatever.
of official, of public
Police
servants.
cars.
Right. Pen.
Vehicles, let's just say vehicles,
Because
because the police car just says police, so
Oh,
these
yeah.
these are decisions that are gonna
Yeah,
have to.
but I
Right,
think that
right,
would be
right.
helpful to people,
examples that people can visualize.
because they will confuse the idea of the town seal.
Yeah.
Right, they will.
Because some
They're
other
definitely
towns, they
confuse it.
developed a bridge instead of their seal.
Could
so-
we? Would people scroll through enough screens to have like one screen that showed things that are out there with the seal on it? I'm not like the Big Belly and the DPW truck, or is it too many screens you think in a poll?
No, but I think if you call attention to it, people will start noticing. You know, if you say we're gonna put this on the trash cans instead of the town seal, next time people say trash can, chances are they're gonna look at it.
I showed my son the other day. I said, yeah, we're working on a new seal to change some items and stuff. He goes, what's that? The seal? Like, it's the seal thing. And then I called it up on my phone. Oh, yeah, that thing.
How old?
But when it gets so small, sometimes it just looks like something else, you know.
I just kind of laughed. I'm like, yeah, it's like I'm trying to clear that up for us to use. But yeah, I mean, that might be a better way to, again, I don't think people are gonna be having a crisis if we're getting, even if they thought we were getting rid of the seal, there could be like, oh, I like it. It's like, well, listen, we're also relooking at this,
Yeah.
and this is,
We did do the inventory of every place that we found the seal. I don't know, have you seen that, Louise? Okay,
I'll share that with you.
Yeah, it's a good-
At one of
so
the
we did,
meetings.
every building did it and every department did it about 6-8 months ago.
And
I
I
mean, in
think,
this building alone, like outside your office on the glass doors or the big seals.
You have to re-stencil it on all glass.
No,
It's plastic
I was like.
outside
It's a
too,
decal.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
but in Powers Hall, those beautiful reliefs are the seal.
Yeah.
Isn't there a big
Fine.
one over the stage?
No,
I thought there was a big one.
there's a
somewhere.
proceed, like a
There's a fat mask over
thing.
there.
if anything, I could see in town hall here having a little bit of a mix, because it will happen, so it's just a matter of like, how do they interact with each other? I think, I can almost see that on one side of the mug and the seal on the other side of the mug, just as the two little things we got going. I think this will help with like town pride and everything else, where it's like, wow, I'm from Needham, and what do you show the seal? And I guess that's like every town though, they all have that same problem. So.
Great, I would entertain the motion to adjourn, if anyone wants to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All right, all those in favor of adjourning?
Right.
Those against?
Wow, we got really far, this is great.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.